In this lesson, we're going to have a look at approximating the binomial distribution with a normal distribution and the conditions that will allow us to do that. So without any delay, let's get straight into it. I should also point out here that the way we're going to do this is specific to the Edexcel and OCR MEI syllabuses. The OCR A syllabus does things slightly differently, and there's a separate video for that. But you've seen the conditions appear there. So when x has a binomial distribution with the number of trials n and the probability of success of each trial p, a normal distribution can be used as an approximation if n is sufficiently large and p is close to 0.5. So this language, n is sufficiently large, is a bit non-specific. Really, what it means is about 50 or above, but often in questions you'll see n be in the hundreds to make it obvious that the normal approximation to the binomial distribution is applicable. Now, as a point of interest, and this bit you don't need to know, it just puts a little bit of context into it, the actual conditions for the normal approximation to the binomial distribution to be applicable are np is greater than 5 and n1 minus p is greater than 5. I've told you this just because you might see on some old specification papers these conditions being used. If your teacher gives you an old exam paper from the old spec, these conditions might be often used. Now these are more general conditions, whereas these are a lot more simplified and used by the new spec. So for the purposes of the new spec, use these conditions here. N sufficiently large, P is close to 0.5. So let's assume that these conditions are met. Then the approximating distribution that we use, the normal distribution, has these parameters. So a new variable y, which is our approximate normal distribution, has mean np, which you'll see from your formula sheet is the mean of a binomial distribution, and variance np 1 minus p, which you'll see from your formula sheet is the variance of a binomial distribution. So we're saying that when these conditions are met, then it's fair game to model the original binomial distribution approximately using this normal distribution here, and that can simplify some of the calculations. So let's take an example. So a coin is tossed 300 times and the number of heads obtained is noted. To find a suitable distribution to exactly model the number of heads obtained x. So think back to year 1 maths. X has a binomial distribution with the number of trials 300 and the probability of success, well, it's a coin being tossed, so it's 0.5. So there we go. There's the distribution, and we've given the parameters as well. N equals 300, P equals 0.5. Next part. Explain why a normal random variable y can be used to approximately model this situation, stating its parameters clearly. So in this case, we can see that n is large, and p is not just close to 0.5, but it is 0.5, meaning that this distribution here has approximately the same shape as a normal distribution. So in this case, the normal distribution will have parameters. So let's work them out. So the mean of the normal distribution we learnt is np previously. So 300 times 0.5, which is 150, and sigma squared equals n times p times 1 minus p equals 75. So it has mean 150 and variance 75. So now let's perform some calculations using this approximation. So part C here says using this approximation, determine approximate probabilities for the following events. Now this isn't as simple as you think. So the wrong thing to do here would be to get the calculator, go into normal distribution mode, and put the lower bound as 160, the upper bound is infinity. The standard deviation is root 75. The mean as 150. And remember, I'm saying this is not the thing to do. And that will give us a probability of 0.1241. That isn't what we should do here. And the reason we shouldn't do this, I'll show you using a diagram. So our original variable x was binomial and could only take integer values, represented by these bars here of width 1. So this bar, I'm going to say, is 159, this bar is 160, and this bar is 161. And the value of the bar is at the centre. Now we've approximated this using a normal curve, which is continuous. So the bars are discrete, can only take integer values, but the curve is continuous. So if I make my lower bound 160, the area I'm finding under the curve is this area here from 160 upwards. However, this area here, this thin strip, we don't want this area. We've said strictly greater than 160. So it shouldn't include any of this area here that I've just shaded red. We should start at the upper bound of 160, which we can see is halfway between 160 and 161. It starts at 160.5. So the probability that y, our continuous variable, is greater than 160.5 will give us the best approximation. And that's called a continuity correction, when we account for the fact that the binomial distribution was in bars, but the normal distribution is a continuous curve. So 160.5 to give 0.1127 is the answer. 0.1127. So applying what we just learned to this next example, the probability that x is greater than or equal to 160, study these bars here and think what the lower bound has to be in order to include all of the bar 160. And the answer is the probability that y is greater than, and to include all of 160, we start there at the lower bound of 160, which is 159.5. 159.5. Which is equal to 0.1363. So let's apply this again to this one here. So the probability that x is less than or equal to 150. So just for the purposes of explanation, I'll add these numbers to the diagram. So this is saying include all of 150, less than or equal to 150. So to include all of 150, we'd start there and go to the left. Less than or equal to 150, so everything from 150 downwards. But to include all of the 150 bar, we'd start at 150.5. So this one, probability that y is less than 150.5 in normal distribution terms. So lower bound this time is negative infinity, upper bound is 150.5, same variance and mean, 0.5230. So on this one, the probability that x is less than 150, we're excluding all of the 50 bar. So we're going to start here. If we're excluding all of 150, we're starting at 149.5 is going to be the upper bound. 149.5. is 0.4770. So that was approximately equal to the probability that our normal approximation is less than 149.5. And reminding myself of the answer, it was 0.4770. 0.4770. And we keep going. Another example. And this one, the probability that x equals 150. So we want all of the 150 bar, but that's all we want. We want approximately under the curve this area here that approximates the 150 bar. So the lower bound of that is 149.5. And I should actually use the approximately equal to sign here. 149.5 less than our normal variable y, which is less than, and the upper bound will be 150.5. 150.5, like that. So the lower bound 149.5, the upper bound 150.5, and 0.04604 is the answer. 0.04604. And we'll do one more. And here it is here, and we'll try and do this without the aid of any diagrams. So it's the probability that x lies between 100 inclusively and 150 exclusively. So we want to include all of that 100 bar, so we're going to need to bring in extra area that's below 100 in order to add more area on. So it's approximately equal to, so we should use 99.5 as the lower bound. The reason for that, again, we're bringing in extra area. We want all of the 100 bar. The 100 bar starts at 99.5, ends at 100.5. We want to include it, so we should start at its lower bound. Is less than y, is less than, and we don't want to include any of 150, so to exclude that, we end at 149.5 at its lower bound. So putting this in the calculator, so we can see there that the lower bound is 99.5, the upper bound is 149.5, and we get 0.4770, so equals 0.4770. And just as a final check, let's have a look at these particular answers here. Let's check them against the binomial distribution, just to check that they're approximately correct, just to show that this is indeed a good approximation. So I'm going to go into binomial CD variable. So here, the probability that x is less than or equal to 150. So less than or equal to 150. We know that it was a binomial distribution with number of trials 300 and probability of success 0.5. We can see that 0.5230 using the binomial distribution gets us the same answer to the same number of significant figures that I wrote it. Let's do less than or equal to 149 now, which is the same as less than 150. So less than or equal to 149 is the same as less than 150. You can see 0.4770, yeah, approximately equal. Binomial PD, let's do x equals 150. Get 0.04603. Slightly different here, slightly different, but still very, very, very close. It's a good approximation. So we can see that this does work. So what we've looked at here is the idea of a continuity correction, including or excluding parts of a bar based on the type of inequality that the binomial variable had. So here we exclude, here we include. So have a go at the question sheet, check every answer as you go.